right, folks, welcome to the Dice Tower News as we take a look at stuff that is happening in the business. Now, a lot of big announcements have been made in previous weeks, so now we're down to just basically some new game announcements, or in the case of the first piece of news, an expansion for Marvel Champions, and this is Venom, or Agent Venom. Venom is working for the U.S. government now, so he's trying to be good, even though internally he's bad.
Oh, my.
Very conflicted.
Yeah, it's actually not a bad series. I enjoyed him in this role. Venom being just bad is fine, but I kind of like the mixed. He's almost, even from these pictures, it doesn't look too far off from being the Punisher, right? With all the guns.
Yeah, I get a vibe of like Spawn from these.
That's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, if you're interested in this, it's coming out soon. They're just pumping these things out. Marvel
one a month, right? Like these releases, something comes out one a month, right?
Yeah, I think so. And Marvel's just a hot IP at the moment. There's a lot of games that are using it. We'll see if people get tired of it. I know. Some of you already are, but whatever. All right, now let's go to a beautiful looking game called Botanic. Or is it Botanic?
So when I saw this, I literally, as I was scrolling through this to talk intelligently, I saw this. I said, "Is this a game about Botox treatments?" I really thought with the way that her face is shaped, I'm like Botox? What? And then I read it. Yes, it's about
my
botany.
question is, does she have 4 eyes? Because
no, it's 4 arms.
Right. And if she doesn't have 4 arms, and if you take those glasses off, that is a gigantic forehead. Oh, you wouldn't notice that, but that big forehead is not common on most people.
The 4 arms, though, perfectly normal.
Let's agree that this is not the most beautiful piece of art that we've ever seen in our lives. We'll go from
it's coming from Space Cowboys, and usually they have pretty slam dunk art. The game itself doesn't even look that interesting, It looks like that. Do you remember that game that Dale you made that Mattel put out a while ago? Yeah, it looks a little like that almost.
Yeah. Anyway, this is a reworking. They announced this game originally a long time ago when Space Cowboys was going to re-release Jaipur. They announced 3 games all at once. All 3 had very similar names. All 3 had very similar themes. 2 of them have come out. Jaipur was the first, and then they put out another one which had this tile stacking thing. And then this one, they were like, okay, well, this is way too similar to Jaipur. So they went back to the drawing board and renamed it, rethemed it, and now it's going to be coming out. So that's what this is.
It's interesting that this looks like a much lighter, uninvolved game for Space Cowboys, which I always think of as being a company that makes bigger games, more involved.
This is like Jaipur, though. I'm much more interested in it, though, Z.
It's from the same people. I'm very hit and miss on this trio of designers. I'll be honest with you. There's a couple of them I like, and a lot of them I've been disappointed by. For me personally, I don't have high hopes for this, which is unfortunate, but honestly, I don't.
All right, well, we've already alluded to the fact that the 20th anniversary edition of Carcassonne is coming out this summer. It's going to look really pretty as far as I can tell. You even have stickers you can put on the meeples and so on and so forth. And it also looks like they're going to be re-releasing some of the expansions for it. I don't know if these are the ones. It looks like these are the ones being released. And if that's the case, I didn't realize The Princess and the Dragon would have been popular enough to be re-released.
I think the game is popular enough to continue supporting more expansions that always come out for it. But
a lot of people who like Carcassonne don't like The Princess and the Dragon because it's a mean version of the game.
Well, that'd be perfect for you then. But actually,
I like it.
I'm happy. I'm happy that Z-Man is not completely giving up all of its euros. And this obviously is a classic that got one of the ones that got me into board gaming back in the day. So I'm happy to see this happening.
So are these the 4 expansions they're saying are being published for the 20th edition, or are these some of them?
I don't know exactly. So Inns and Cathedrals was the first expansion that came out for Carcassonne way back in the... Oh, yeah, wasn't that Inns and Cathedrals was the first one?
I think it's...
Traders and Builders?
Yeah, I think it's Traders and Builders, then Inns and Cathedrals.
Oh, well then the Count, King, and Robber... The count was like a small little expansion. If you remember, it had those tiles that made a big starting area.
Yeah.
Had basically paratrooping. So this looks like it's combining some of the purple box. And Hills and Sheep was one of the newest expansions. That's expansion 9 on it, though, Z.
Right. I don't know then. Maybe this is just a sampling of them reprinting all of them.
All right.
Yeah. I just saw that. A good catch. Expansion 9. So obviously they're going to be reprinting at least 9 expansions. 4 of them are here.
I think I'll wait till they come out with the 21st anniversary edition, the Carcassonne Old Enough to Drink edition. It'll be
that's true. If there's a popular game about
sheep,
drinking,
but they're drunk instead.
Right, Carcassonne breweries and wineries. Come on, that'd be perfect.
That's true.
Perfect.
All right, then we have a new game from WizKids. I do. Called, I think is it Jinja?
That would be it.
Yes, so yeah.
Nowadays, I really, and I can't emphasize enough, that the turnaround on component quality and stuff from WizKids over the last year has been phenomenal. Like, it is at least twice as good as it used to be. This one, it's hard to tell from that picture of the game. In fact, for some reason, that board looks upside down to me.
Yeah, I couldn't resolve it in my head at first. It looks like it's
an optical illusion. It's a 3D rendering, and the optical illusion makes it look like sometimes it's going, like sometimes it's going like this.
Yeah,
and sometimes it's going like that from the top down.
They need a little bit of shading to make it work a little bit better for the eyes. But thank you, Zev Schlesinger, for helping to bring WizKids quality up. That's great, and it looks kind of cool.
Yeah, so Kevin Crosby is the designer. It's his first design, so we don't know much more about that. It takes an hour. You're putting shrines around there, and you have secrets. I mean, it sounds like your typical Euro game, but I don't know. I'm hoping it's good. It looks fun.
Yeah, I like that cover a lot.
Yes, agreed on that.
Now, a lot of people are excited about this next one. So we have Let's Make a Bus Route, a very popular game from Japan. And we have Let's Make a Bus Route, the dice game. But more importantly, this is being shown off at the Tokyo Game Market, which is taking place in this coming weekend. This is one of the few events that's happening this year.
I didn't know it was. I'm surprised that it is going off, actually.
I'm sure it's
but
very,
it's great.
very controlled, the event itself.
Yeah,
the Tokyo Game Market, from the videos and stuff I've seen of it, is not necessarily about playing games. It's just about going and buying games. So that's a much more easier thing to pull off, I think.
I mean, it's very similar to like New York Toy Fair, that kind of show, I believe. Not really a convention for buying games. At least I don't think it is. I could be wrong about that, but I thought it was more business to business.
Z, I think you played Let's Make a Bus Route, right?
I did, and I reviewed it, and I've already and Sashi and Sashi are fantastic. They're a great company. Sashi always contacts me when they have something new coming out, so I should be getting this in 2 weeks or so at some point. Exciting. So you should be able to check out a review of it soon, folks, right here on the Dice Tower. So stay tuned for that.
So Sashi always contacts you. Does Sashi also contact you?
No.
Only Sashi.
Yes.
It's a one-way relationship.
Do you know it's only one person?
It's a one-way relationship.
Do you know that Sashi and Sashi is one person?
Yes. I was kidding with you. I don't understand. All right. You want to flex a little more? Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying.
I want to know if you knew this.
What's the joke? I'm confused. All right. Anyway, another game that just came out.
Buonocore needs to chill with that shirt is what he needs to do.
The shirt's so loud I have to be a little...
Can I continue here? A jazz-themed trick-taking game here called Taking the A Chord. I love everything about this theming. I like how it looks. I like the fact that it's a trick-taking game. This one I'm pretty pumped at. Now, this has been released. I guess it might only be in Japan right now.
Yes, I reviewed this already too, Tom. This is a re-release.
Oh, my word. I'm sorry. I don't have to do the news anymore. Zeke, tell me what's already happened.
This is just I don't know how much is different. I'm not certain how much got reworked, but I know that it's been out. Again, you can check it out on the channel, and we'll see how much they've.
Did you like it?
Switched it up. Yeah, I like it. It's a neat trick-taking game. It's got a cool sort of circular, anything beats anything else depending on the notes that got played. That's what the letters obviously mean.
Not a lot of games about music, really, that are good, I think. So
I agree.
Interesting to see this. Hopefully it's not as boring as jazz is. Next.
Wow. He's just trying to make all the enemies today. Okay.
All right, see, so what's his next game like since you've played it already,
so
I'm sure?
Death Cube is a game in which, from the Kawasaki factory, in which there's cubes, right? And they are killer. And that's all I know, because this one I don't know anything about.
Oh, okay. Well, you're trying not to be crushed by blocks in this game, apparently.
Like normal, everyday life.
It's a 4x5 grid, and you're covering up these different pieces. And so you have 24 seconds how to put them into this grid somehow.
Timed game. Oh boy.
It seems like it's slightly timed. Like, here's things you need to figure out how to do this now, and then we stop and we go on. It seems interesting. Like, maybe you're trying to you all look at the tiles and you figure out where you're going to stand, and then hope that he doesn't put the tile in that spot.
I think so. Yeah. So if those are the next two shapes coming up there, and the board already looks like that, I might be like, okay, well, I'm probably.
Wait, hang on.
safe.
I'm gonna stand somewhere, and then you tell me where you put them, and I'll tell you if I'm safe. All right, I'm standing. Where are you putting them?
All right, so let me see. They're gonna go on 7, 12, 17, 13, 14. Takes the T. Okay.
Yeah.
And then 18, 19, 20, 15, 10 takes the L.
You got me. I stood on 10.
See, I would have stood on 11 because I think that's trickier to go in there. I don't think 11. I think 11 is safe.
I think you're right. I think 11 is completely safe. I should have went with the sure thing.
Oh, and then do you get points depending on where you stand or something like that?
Sure, why not?
Why not? That's it.
Know.
Obviously.
But I like the concept. I hate that cover though. It looks so.
That's terrible.
Death metal.
All right. Now, speaking of good-looking covers here, we have Day and Night. This is designed by the same person who made Crystal Clans from Plaid Hat Games. This is from Piatnik, though. And you're trying to join the crowd to score. You're going to be choosing cards simultaneous, and then you see who wins each round. It looks a little close to trick-taking. I like the two-sided cards there, though. I like the layout of these cards a lot.
I really like these. I think they're gorgeous cards. This is not trick-taking. It's kind of trick-taking.
Well, I'm just saying the way it seems, because it says you will simultaneously reveal cards, and then you see who wins the round, and if the time card shows the sun, the highest sun, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of trick-taking, but not quite. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes they describe games as trick-taking, even though they're simultaneous, and that just doesn't sit right with me. So I get what you mean. I'm hoping this one's really good. It is very beautiful.
It is lovely.
All right. This next game I did not expect to be re-released. So several years ago, I reviewed Gummy, which is about you have these different cards, and you're trying to draw cards and collect cards, different fruits. Well, now they changed it to a much nicer looking game here. Although it looks like the game is now for only 1 to 2 players, while the Gummy went up to 6 players.
What? That's quite the change.
It is. I have to say, I really like how these cards look, though. I really like that rug motif.
They look like Azul tiles or something, right?
The patterns are beautiful, and it's kind of a funny thing the way they say in Baraka you want to collect sets of beautiful Moroccan cards. So you're collecting cards in a card set collection card game. I don't know why it wouldn't be rugs or something like that, or fabrics or something.
Because they're cards. They're made of paper.
That's it. Very pretty. I don't know what it's doing other than that. All those cards have ones on them.
All right. Let's jump now to Netflix here. There's an animated series on Netflix. I have not seen this one watched by my kids yet, called The Dragon Prince. Oh. Although at the rate they blow through shows, it's only a matter of time, I'm sure. So there's apparently 3 seasons of the show out, and now they're making a game here from Brotherwise Games. Brotherwise, of course, no stranger to making things based on IPs, since they made something based on Name of the Wind and other books and things like that. It's a melee skirmish game. Without knowing anything about the IP, the game isn't attracting me right now. But maybe it's fun, and maybe if you're a fan of the IP, I don't know. You know what I mean? But that board itself doesn't look exciting.
I agree. That looks drab.
But I like anime, so
I don't think this is anime. I just had a long discussion with my kids over what's anime and what's not. And apparently this is animated, but not anime.
Those characters are anime looking to me. I mean, maybe I'm not an expert.
Be careful. Oh. I've said some similar things, too.
Oh, I'm in trouble now. I'm in trouble. I called something anime, but maybe it's manga only or...
No. Okay.
I know.
You should stop talking, actually, I think.
I know. That's...
I've learned my lesson. All right.
Drawn.
So Ares is going to be publishing Ergo Ludo Editions games, which I didn't really know much about them at all, actually. But man, another music-themed game here, Ensemble, or I think it's music-themed. At least the cover looks musical.
Yeah.
I love this cover. This is my favorite cover of the week.
Another music-themed game. Interesting.
Beautiful cover. That's a really, really beautiful cover. Even though I feel like I've seen a cover very similar to this one, Tom, with a conductor. The conductor's back to us. A similar motif. This, I'm getting a feeling that I've seen this cover before somewhere, not on this game. Is there another game like this? Is this a reprint, maybe?
This is a cooperative party game. I don't know if you've read some of the rest of the details. 2 to 10 players.
For a card displayed. I'm looking it up on Board Game Geek. It doesn't say that it's based on anything else. It just says 2021.
Oh, man.
And this company, Ergo Ludo, and when I look at their game, they have stuff like Gugong and the Golden Ages, but that just means they reprinted other companies' games. I don't know what their original stuff is.
Nice. It looks great.
They got another game coming out called Roxanne. All right, I was trying to set up Buonocore, but anyway. All right.
Roxanne.
All right, so Twilight Imperium had a map design contest, and what they did is they made a really nice downloadable PDF where you can download different maps that have won this contest, and people made custom maps that you can play for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players. They're actually pretty interesting and unique. I was looking at over the different maps. So this is kind of cool. I like when companies take fan-based stuff like this and then put it out, but they also make it available to everybody for free. You can just download it, but done in a way where everybody can get a hold of it. Adds more content to the game, but without costing you any money at all.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Because I don't know this game. Do you build this layout with stuff that's in your box, or do you need to print this in real size?
No. This is from the box. Stuff from the box, although it also uses tiles from the latest expansion that came out.
So I can make this just by looking at the picture and using my tiles. I can make this, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's just the special rules or whatever, It's when you play Twilight Imperium, usually the way the rules are written, players build the map all together. You're all building the map. When we played a few months ago with Roy and Buonocore, Roy built the map kind of as evenly as he could.
Right.
Which is the way I normally do it. But this, I wouldn't mind trying this out. And this 3-player version of this sounds interesting.
That sounds cool. I mean, I like that. I like having a bank of maps. Do they not give you this from the rule book? Are there no pre-built ones?
No. They show you how to build the map. They'll show you where you put the starting things, and then the rest of it's up to players because that's part of the game.
Okay. I guess I could see that, but I'm surprised they've never, in over 4 editions, made it easier to begin playing the first time by saying, look, you can build it, but the first time, do this.
Let me I don't know. They may actually have a pre-built map somewhere where you can play with it. That's possible. I'm not saying
Roy should know. Roy should jump in here and tell us. Roy.
No, I don't want to. No, please. Okay?
No, don't let Roy in.
Build a balanced map. Get out of my face.
See, there is a balanced pre-built map.
There you go.
Okay, fine. Roy says there's a pre-built.
I want to know why we didn't get together and create a great map when we played. Like we could have.
No, I don't like
it in this competition. We could have been.
All right.
We had a 4-player game. We could have been the guy, Matthew Pana, who won with his map. We could have been that.
Folks, thanks so much for watching. Let's keep going.
Right.